Hello everyone and welcome to another long-awaited, very exciting episode of Aurogiri Guides. So today's episode has been in the works for a while, and by in the works I mean I haven't done it till now. And we are doing the attack staff guide. So this guide is the second last guide we have to cover until we have to like renew them all, which we have to do anyway, but because the meta's changed so much. But we are doing the attack staff guide. So previously, last week or the week before, we did support staff, and I said I wanted to divide staff into two separate guides because staff has two different purposes. So hello Eva, hello Randale. Yeah, no naps for you, and hello King Nova. So attack staff, like such a thing a year ago, it would have been preposterous. A joke build. It would have been, hey, let's go clear EE with staff. Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's do it. But, you know, now as the game has evolved and accessories exist and there's more elements to go around, there's more titles, there's more affinity, there's more attack percent, there are more weapons with elements, attack staff is becoming more and more viable with each and every update. And eventually, when we get knowledge mags, probably in 2018, on PS4, staff will be a lot stronger, because I know a lot of people have seen the Onigiri video where they smash Lucifer with staff because of knowledge mags having so much darkness. Staff has a lot of potential when you go to the dark side. What are moderators in chats? Moderators in chats is basically, while I'm busy streaming, a moderator, if something unruly happens in the stream, like someone's just going off for no reason, a moderator could go in and time that person out, or silence a person, or ban them outright. They're basically people that I give power to act in my stead should something arise. Sort of like, you know, the police officers. So, you know, that was a good question. But moving on to attack staff. So, when it comes to support staff, when we're talking about that, a lot of staff skills were mainly support, and then there's a few that are offensive. Like, we don't think of staff as offensive, we think of it as, you know, rapid storm, meditation, invigorate, strike, boost, resurrection, those key moves. But staff does also have offensive moves as well. So right now I'm equipped with just 4 staffs for the sake of having 4 staffs, because I'm cool like that. So right now I have the Shadow Arm Figuera, the Ice Arm Figuera, the Crystal Staff Profundum, and the Helbaris Staff of Ruin. So a lot of these are warding, they're all warding staffs, I'll tell you the truth. So Helbaris comes from Odin. Crystal Staff is Glacies. Ice Arm is the Rhyme Staff from Sleet Sword. Or is it Sleet Sword, or is it Sleet Lance? Or is it... What is it? What is he called? I don't know what the gargoyles are called. I know there's Levin Lance Gargoyle. Is it Sleet Lance Gargoyle? What's he called? Sleet Sword? I really have no idea what he's called. I am bewildered. I need to find out what gargoyles are called, because I do not know what they're called. I know that Levin is called Levin Lance. That's it. I have no idea what gargoyles are called. Give me a second here. He is called Sleet Sword. What the fuck? That makes no sense. So it's Infernal, Levin, Sleet Sword. So I was right. It just didn't make sense to me. But staff, offensive staff can use a lot of the gargoyles to its advantage. That was the main point I wanted to get across. It's just I don't know why the names are all so different. I never thought about it till now, and I'm not going to think about it again because it makes no sense. So let's move on to staff's offensive moves. So, wow. Okay, so staff's offensive skills. So on PC, if you go to the wiki, there are some unreleased skills that are only on PC right now, so I'm not going to touch on them. But what we have so far for staff, we have Holy Breath and Breath of Light. So it starts off as Breath of Light, and then it turns to Holy Breath. And I believe, I'm no I don't think I've ever really used this move, but what I think it is, it's like the same thing as Frost Breath on Staff, or Blizzard Breath, and it's just you breathe Holy Light. I have no idea. Like, I know you, like, swing the staff and just holy stuff comes out of it. Like this triple little swipe combo thing. I've never really seen this move used. It has low skill force. Holy Breath 7 might be good in the same way that Rolling Thunder is good, but I've never heard too much about it. There is Call of the Lightning. Now, Call of the Lightning is the Point Daruma move, I want to say. Yeah, Call of the Lightning. Now, this move is literally Rain of Judgment, but instead of rain, it's lightning, and it's the Daruma Point Daruma skill. It's a very strong move if it hits. If it's anything like Rain of Judgment, it's OP. But it is pure lightning. So this is what you kind of want on the Blitz Tiamat staff, which is one of the warding exclusives. There's only Blitz Tiamat weapons for staff and Odachi. So we're going to talk about that one a little later, but keep that in mind that staff has viable, very viable lightning skills. Yeah, the Point Daruma is sort of like Blaze Sanction, Lance of Flames, Waterbound Blade. That's what I'm talking about, is you know, Call of the Lightning. So that's the equivalent. Don't we get Res from Point Daruma? Yes. So Res comes from Point Daruma as well, but Res was put into the game before, like, all the other skills came. Like, Res was just put there because it's Res. Like, Res is separate from Call of the Lightning and Lance of Flames and Blaze Sanction and all those other moves. So, and yes, welcome, Juice. Do I play any other games? Do you do any other gameplays? Very rarely I'll play Overwatch, but generally I just play Onigiri. But yeah, Call of the Lightning is literally Rain of Judgment of lightning and just rains down all around you. They should have just called it like Lightning Judgment, but it's whatever. Because its name is very similar to Call Lightning on staff, and it's kind of disorienting. The other skills it has, one of the best skills I want to say is Chase Blister. Chase Blister has an incredibly high skill force, and it goes from rank 3 to rank 7. I have it on my rhyme. Chase Blister is a really, really cool attack. It's just a couple of little homing bubbles. I'm so OP, thanks. OP Torb carries, you damn right. But Chase Blister is a very interesting attack. It's just a couple little bubbles. If I was actually targeted onto an enemy, it would follow them a moderate distance and damage them, each little bubble. And what makes Chase Blister so good is that it has a high skill force of rank 7, about 1300 skill force, and if an enemy gets hit by it, they lose 1200 magical defense. So I do play this on PS4, yeah. And basically it's a ranged debuff move. So this move is like support and offense at the same time. So once you hit an enemy with this, their magic defense gets lowered. So the first Chase Blister does damage, and then every subsequent Chase Blister does more and more damage. And this also leads up, so you can go like Chase Blister, and then for 20 seconds, you could hit them with any other move, and it will do an increased damage because you've lowered the enemy's defense. So it's great for boss fights. You can lower a boss's defense, and then your teammates can just smack it for more and more damage because you've lowered their defenses. So that's an awesome, awesome thing, Chase Blister. Great attack, and it's 100% rain, so rain is one of Staff's best things. I should play Paladins? Maybe, I don't know. I mostly don't play many other games, to tell you the truth. Next there is Holy Light. Now, Holy Light, I have Holy Light on the Helbaris. Just trying to demo some of the skills because I have them. Holy Light is this little barrage of lights. It's a ranged attack. It has moderate skill force. At rank 6, it can go upwards to 1300 skill force. Rank 7 is 1400 skill force. And it fires 5 projectiles at rank 6 and 6 projectiles at rank 7. So it's this cool little move. When does Staff get their buff? like, because I like it. It's really, well, staffs, but I mean, the better your mags are, and if you get like mags like Fusion Bear and stuff, which we're going to touch on later, that's when staff gets their buff, is when you've built the element for it and you've got the better mags, and there's all these different mags that come out, and those are what buff staff. It's just, right now with Crucifix, that only really gives staff users Holy, and it lowers their darkness, so it really nerfs their Shadow Ball, Dart, and Shadow's Soul Strike, and Nether Illusion Trap, Sublime gameplay, because those 4 dark moves, staff has 4 dark moves, and it's their negative element. But when Knowledge Mags come out, and Fresh Blood Black, and you use things like that, and Ornament and a New Moon for darkness, you can really, really play staff. So we're going to get to that eventually, but I love the questions. So Holy Light, interesting attack. It can do the good moderate DPS. Like, you'd want it on a holy weapon, so like Elsin, or Blitz Tiamat staff, or the Tenryu staff, because they have triple damage, extra holy damage on them, holy weapons. It could be usable. I've never really seen it in play, tell you the truth, but I think because it's 100% holy, you could really build for it. You could maximize its DPS. Totally underrated. Then you have Holy Pillar, and Holy Pillar, I believe, is the antithesis of Juan's Darkness Pillar. Holy Pillar exists in rank 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's it. And it's 100% holy. Rank 7 is about 1400 skill force. So you have to get it from like a skill change right now until Skill Card Dungeon comes out. But Holy Pillar, just like Darkness Pillar on Wand, same little animation. I think if you like turn your cursor while you use it, like the light will appear and then it like moves. Yeah. So like it follows these little light thingies. So if you look here and then you like, if I face this way and then I like aim here, the light will be in 2 different positions. Kind of a cool little tidbit. Like you could have your character block like this, or we gotta see it on camera. So you block over there, use Holy Pillar. There's like light in 2 different places. But it's just something I noticed about it. Like if I'm looking at Ibaraki Doji, but my character's facing over there, the light will appear in 2 different places, but only where you look is where it comes out. So that's all that matters. But Holy Pillar, it'll work just like Juan's Darkness Pillar, but it's holy. And it can do a lot of DPS if it's anything like Darkness Pillar, and the fact that it goes to rank 6 and rank 7, it can pack a wallop. Next on the list is Reign of Judgment. Now, Reign of Judgment is, when you look at it, it only has about 800 skill force, 700, 800 skill force at rank 7. So mine's like level 10. 100% Reign, but it has 700 skill force. Hi, Kawaii. Reign of Judgment is probably Staff's strongest move, I want to say. If you manage to hit something with one of these little water droplets, like I've wore 3 Crucifix mags and like a Hanzo. Well, I can't, I wish. But I've wore 3 Crucifixes and like a Rain Element Sparrow. And Reign of Judgment can pack quite a wallop. Like I fought Inferno Gargoyle Warding with it. Like not on Hell, I think I just did hard or something. But like Reign of Judgment can do millions if you build right. Like if you, you know, Reign of Judgment, Chase Blitzer, same thing. Like Rain Element is Staff's second element on their fused. So you can get a lot of Rain Element. You can drink like a Tail of Genji, get a bunch of Rain Element, and just wear an ornamented Rain Mag and 3 Crucifix, and your Rain Element will do really amazing. If you build yourself a Fusion Bear, it will do amazing damage. Like, Staff with Fusion Bear is phenomenal as well. Very, very good. Reign of Judgment, if you can manage to hit a big enemy, like something weak to Rain, like, I don't know, something huge like Gargoyle or Eldritch Beast, anything that's really big, if you can hit it with multiple raindrops, you're going to be seeing like mills upon mills upon mills. And then there's even Reign of Judgment Sublime, which is an Ogi version of Reign of Judgment, and it's a more concentrated attack. It's like Reign of Judgment, but it's literally water geysers all around you, and it lasts like 15 seconds. And it's like less damage than Reign of Judgment, but it's like more concentrated, and you can see upwards to depending if you had Fusion Berry, you'd probably see 1,000,000 a hit, but it would just be like this orgy of damage all around you, and it's just this awesome, awesome AoE attack that just rains down the damage. Resplendent Orb is the Lancelot attack when that comes out. That thing is a shit ton of skill force. That moves Holding and Rain. That's going to be amazing on staff. Phenomenal on staff. But that move is currently unreleased on PS4 because we do not have the Gawain event. So, yeah, it does hit way more times. Yeah, it lasts so long. But we won't talk too much about Resplendent Orb for now. Next skill is Rolling Thunder. Now, Rolling Thunder on Spear is amazing. I don't think that the Rolling Thunder on Staff has the same skill force, though. I think on Spear, I need to double check Spear's skill force for it, because I feel like Spear just has more skill force for the attack. So pardon me 1 second, just to check it out. Because I have Rolling Thunder 7 on my Sin. I just want to compare the skill force difference. So, Rolling Thunder on Spear goes up to 600, almost 700 skill force. But Rolling Thunder on Staff, only at rank 7, only goes to about 400. And I think that's because Spear's unique trait is that they have more skill force than other classes. So, don't expect to be like super Spear damage with Rolling Thunder. But Rolling Thunder is still an incredibly strong attack. Because it is 100% lightning, you could put this, you could make an Elsin staff or a Blitz Tiamat staff or even a Storm staff, you know, or an Ausame staff. An Ausame staff would be awesome for staff because it would be lightning and rain. You could have Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is a risky attack, but it can just do a lot of damage. I have it on the staff actually. Rolling Thunder. You know, at higher ranks it does more hits and they can do millions upon millions of damage. But it is an awesome move. Like, you can make an Elsin with like double Rolling Thunder and Call of the Lightning and 2 Thunder Lances, and it would be awesome. Like, yeah, Heaven, Rainwater. The only one for staff that's not good is probably the Gakuho. Although Gakuho is Staff's only, the Gakuho Ogi is Staff's only source of wind and mountain when you don't consider like Embers and Thunderlance. Like, Gakuho Ogi is really interesting. You have a Thunderlance. There you go. It can happen. It can happen. So Rolling Thunder, especially now that next update we're going to get the Rumbling Mags. So Rumbling Mags are these, there's actually Wind Mags too. People always talk about Rumbling, but they never talk about the Tempest Mag and the Mag of Eternal Winds, or whatever the hell it's called. But there'll be 2 mags coming in the next update with the Fujin and Raijin that will have a decent amount of lightning and wind element on them, and ice as well. The Rumbling Mag that has lightning and ice on it, and it'll be really good for staff because of Blistering Ice Wave and Rolling Thunder and Call of the Lightning and moves like that. So that mag's going to change things up a lot for staff. Absolutely. But Rolling Thunder is really good. Lots of DPS, just high risk, high reward kind of move because if you get really close. Scarlet Resplendent Orb. Wow. That's the dark one. Dark and Fire. That's really cool. And then the last 2 skills we have are ones we've already talked about. And these are Shadow Ball and Darkness and Soul Strike. So Shadow Ball is, it used to be a skill card, by the way. Shadow Ball 7. Shadow Ball 7 used to be on a skill card, but in a recent update, it got changed to Strike Boost 7. So if you didn't make a Dark Staff before, it might be a little hard to get a hold of Shadow Ball 7. But Soul Strike 7 is a skill card, without a doubt. But Shadow Ball 7 is no longer on a skill card set. You have to find it yourself via skill change or from a skill card dungeon whenever that comes out in the near future of 2018. Whew. So, pardon my yawning. But this is the 2 dark skills of Soul Strike and Shadow Ball work really, really well once the Knowledge Mags come out. And as I said, Fresh Blood Black, the Ibis Mag, can be used as a substitute until Knowledge comes out. But Soul Strike is basically the same thing as Chase Blister. It also lowers magical defense by the same amount. And it's just this close range pimp slap of darkness, and it's just, if you have 3 of them on a dark weapon like a Dayton Rue, if you wanted to make a Dayton Rue like triple, I would actually make a Dayton Rue Shadow Ball staff just for Oni Palace of Rain. Honest to God, I would do that. I would do that. That'd be awesome. So you have Soul Strike that lowers magical defense, and then you have Shadow Ball. You could, with enough cooldown, like if you had like Fused and like Staff Tempest, God forbid, and you know, all like, if you're really, really up there and you had the cooldown and you had accessories for cooldown like Oda's, you could get away with making a weapon like Soul Strike for defense and then double Shadow Ball, and it would just be great. But it's really up to you. So as I said in earlier, what I want to do for guides is to focus specifically on weapons and how to build them. After we've touched on all the skills, that's what I want to talk about. But we still have some Ogis to go over, so we will go over those. There's also Super Sushi Time. It's not really that good because you can't use it with Shenlong. If Super Sushi Time could be used in conjunction with Shenlong Nigiri, it'd be amazing. But it, however, does not. You are not able to do it. It kind of sucks. But it's not that bad. So staff Ogis that are offensive are Blistering Ice Wave, which is a charge up move. Axe and Odachi have it. Ice, or Staff has it, and for Staff it's 100% ice. So if you build a double ice Mongoku, or just some small chakra mag with double ice on it, Heavenly Shield, you can start pumping out really, really high numbers of Blistering Ice Wave damage. An awesome skill in your rhyme. Staff also has Blistering Ice Wave Sublime, which is awesome. That's the whole reason I made my Ice Arm Figuera, to tell you the truth, is for Blistering Ice Wave Sublime, which is like 3 of them, and then Blistering Ice Wave, the normal one. Awesome, awesome ranged attacks, can do amazing, amazing damage, and ice is always great. So, Blistering Ice Wave, fantastic attack, fantastic attack. What other Ogis are there? There's so many like random support Ogis. You know, there's all the Dragon Arc waves are here. There's the Nadir attack. Divine Flash would probably be bad on Staff, just like it's bad on every class. The Seiden Ogi is actually kind of good. Like if you make a Staff cross, just for a support, like I said in the previous video, make sure you extract the cross Ogi, because it's the Ogi Fascinating Fallen Light is 100% holy. It has a 30% chance to stun an enemy, and it's about 600 skill force, which isn't that bad, but it's like a Spirit Blast AoE attack, and I think it's pretty good. Like, that Ogi could do good work on an El Sin or something. Like, it could have some merit as a holy attack. Oh, there's Eva over there. She's awesome. Then there is the Fascinating Fallen Light Sin, and even the Sin version is 100% holy. You can't extract it though, but I might recommend leaving it on an El Sin. It might be worth it because of its 100% holy, 1000 skill force. Like, it could probably do work. And it also has the same stun chance. So that's totally up for experimentation if you really want to get into it. But Ogi Fascinating Fallen Light El Sin might be worth your trouble. It might be worth its salt at 1000 skill force. I thought it would have been broken up as a holy lightning attack, but it's not. And that's really cool. What is that? That's so cool. El Grace. El Grace is all. What is El Grace? El Grace. How is El Grace 80 lightning and 80 holy? This makes no sense. El Grace is not the best move. I've been meaning to talk about that. The Mega Satan. There is the Mega Satan Ogi as well. You're right. I forget that that exists. The Mega Ogi Mega Fascinating Fallen Light. It's literally like 200 skill force stronger than the one on Cross. So that one's probably better to put. Yeah, Elgrace is Lucifer's Ogi, yeah. I'm just thinking because Staff has the Blitz Tiamat Staff, with a lot of Lightning and Holy on it. It might be worth experimenting with, but I don't see much use in it. No one really uses it. You know, if you have it, maybe, but I think Ogi Fascinating Fallen Light is kind of interesting. It's probably the one Satan Ogi I like. Like, I like a lot of them, but it actually does good work. Like, I think it's good. Then you have all the Embers attacks, Nether Illusion Trap, and Nether Illusion Trap Sublime, which are both awesome 100% dark moves. Very, very good. Rain of Judgment Sublime, we touched on this earlier. Awesome attack, 100% rain, 2,000 friggin' skill force. Like, it's so good. Soul Edge would be interesting. That's the Lancelot attack, which is 30 slice, 35 fire, 35 rain. That's Rain of Judgment Sublime right there. It's really cool. You can use like both at the same time just to cover a huge distance. And it just, like, you get a good little bubble strike in there. Not bubble strike, but chase blister. It can do some good work. Then you have the Dayton Ogis, Thunder Blast, all the waves. Visual Hall would be really, really, really desirable. Even though it is Slice and Holy, if as a ranged Holy attack, Visual Hall is probably a must-have for Staff, I want to say. And then you have Winged Madness, which is a 100% dark move. Comes on the Abyss weapon. A lot of friggin' skill force when you level this baby up. It's not 100% dark. It's 20 slice, 80 dark. But it is still really, really cool. So, you know, now that we've gone over all the skills, we're about half an hour in, as I apologize. We're going to get into, like, which weapons you'd want to build in which way. I find that's much more important than just discussing what skills do and how good they are, etc. So I'm going to load up the list of weapons, and we're going to go over some key weapons that would be awesome to build as a Staff main. And these weapons we're only going to touch on things cross and up. So that's going to be where we start. We're going to start with the well, no, we'll start with the 105 crafted as well. So, Bloodsucker. Bloodsucker is a weapon, very, very easy to make nowadays. Most people just use it to get the Phantom Bloodsucker or the other veteran weapons. But the Bloodsucker and the Oni Mace is kind of important to talk about too. Oni Mace, Bloodsucker, both those weapons, you're going to come across them. Oni Mace gives you extra vitality, so it's kind of cool for living, and 18 Holy. So you can build that as a Holy weapon early on, like you could put Holy Light, Holy Pillar, things like that on it. But, you know, it's a 105 weapon. It's just there to make sure you get the cross. Like, that's just how it goes. Bloodsucker has 20 Dark, gives you extra SP and extra Dexterity, so it gives you like a point to crit and stuff. Nothing too fancy on that. What was I going to say? So Bloodsucker, basic dark weapon. You know, if you have staffs and stuff to support it, Bloodsucker could be an early dark weapon to use, although 20 dark isn't, you know, the best. So, you know, on the Bloodsucker, you could go like Soul Strike, Shadow Ball, and that'd be a great weapon. Oni Mace, you know, Holy Pillar, Holy Light. Holy Breath. I don't think many people are going to use Holy Breath, but you know, do with it what you will. Next on here is not going to touch on the Severance. We're going to go to the Maximilian Cross. So Maximilian Cross, you know, we talked about it earlier. This one has no Holy. It is 40 Lightning. 30. It gives you 30% SP and 24 Mind, so lots of extra affinity on it. Like we said before, it's more of a support staff, but offensively you could go, and that's the weird thing about the Satan Ogi, is that the Satan Ogi itself is 100% holy when the weapon has no holy on it, and it's very much a conundrum. You could leave the Ogi on it and just throw in a Thunder Lance or something, but Maximilian Cross it's probably going to be like a Rolling Thunder, Call of the Lightning weapon, and then you just have, you know, Lance and, you know, whatever you want on it. You could double Lance it if you want, but at this rate, in the game, you can get like to 115 in no time. Next weapon, the Severance. I don't really ever care much for the Severance weapons, but the Severance, if you're at that point in the game, it's kind of interesting. The Severance staff has 25 Dark and 30 Holy on it, making it like one of the only weapons you could put Divine Flash on and it would not have a negative, which would be really cool. It's negative fire though, gives you crit and stuff. You could put Divine Flash on it. I don't recommend it. I'm just saying it's a thing. You might start doing your own twin sword guide and before it's procrastinating. I mean, power to you. So, you know, Severance is more of an honorable mention. So let's get on to, you know, the gargoyles. That's really where things get important. So here we have, oh, I guess we have the Phantom Bloodsucker. Phantom Bloodsucker is an honorable mention veteran weapon. It's basically the same thing as the Bloodsucker. It's 30 Dark and it gives you a bunch of other buffs, like some skill force and stuff. So this is what you want, like Soul Strike and Shadow Ball on, so to speak. Basically just an upgraded version of the Bloodsucker. Not too much different like other classes. So next you have the Nova, Rhyme, and the Storm. So on your, we're going to start with the Rhyme. So the Rhyme is ice and water. So what you'd want to put on that, I guess rain if you want to be specific. Mine, I have Chase Blister, Rain of Judgment, and Soul Strike. I just put Soul Strike because I was skill changing trying to get Chase Blister 7 and I couldn't. But I find Soul Strike is fine to have it on there. There's no detriment. But more or less, this weapon, Rain and Ice. Staff has no ice skills that are unless it's Blistering Ice Wave or Ice Lance. So your normal skills, you don't have to worry too much about it. Generally on a Rhyme, you can have Chase Blister and Rain of Judgment, or you could have like 2 Chase Blisters, 2 Rain of Judgment, or one or the other. It's really up to you. I think Rain of Judgment is an awesome attack at rank 7, especially considering that it is a skill card set. Soul Strike, I just have it there because, like I said, I tried to skill change. But generally, you're going to want Rain and Rain on it, and like Blistering Ice Wave or Ice Lance. Really up to you. You could make one or the other, like one for each. A lot of axe users do that, and I see no reason not to. Embers does come on it though, and yeah, I was just going to touch on that too. Like Embers is actually good for staff because it has Rain on it. Yeah. Like, because the Crucifix Fused has Rain on it, and Rain is staff's second element, you know, holy water, Embers is actually a viable option. Like Embers, Mega Embers, because it does have Rain on it, you can build Rain for it, and it can do good damage. But yeah, I agree. Embers should not be overlooked. And then you have the Nova. So the Nova, staff has no fire or wind skills aside from Ogies, so your Embers is going to be important for certain enemies. Like if there's something only weak to wind, well, you gotta hit it with Embers. Fire Embers or Gakuho Ogi or something like that. So Embers on staff is kind of desirable. So you could go like Embers into Flame Lance or even Log Rumble if you really want to. It's really up to you, but Log Rumble is a 100% holy attack if you manage to get the skill card. I'll get to there soon. Gotta work our way up. But on the Nova, I want to say that because the Nova has no physical, like not physical, but no normal skills that are fire or wind, Nova is going to end up being the staff. It could end up being a strong support staff, like something you want to put your Invig and stuff on. Like you could get away with your Soul Strike on this if you have no other dark weapons at the time, but because it has no fire or wind options, you can put any skills you want on the Nova, use it for its high attack, and what was I gonna say? And then you can just have your Ogis for Flame Lance and Embers, and you'll have fire covered. Because most people, anyway, if you have Lance on a weapon, you only Lance stuff. Like, if you've double Lance something, you just Lance everything. So it's not that big of a detriment. And then your Storm, like we said, this can be your replacement to your Cross as Rolling Thunder, Call of the Lightning. Since Staff has no mountain, you pretty much might want to keep the Embers on there. So Embers really is going to come in clutch for giving you those extra elements. So it's not always wise to remove them, but you can go Embers and Thunder Lance and basically just one-up your Cross, essentially. That's why I say the Cross is like a better as a support staff, because of all the extra affinity it gives you. And Storm will just replace it later on. So the next on the list are the Dragon Arcs. So we touched on these a little bit earlier. So the Rainwater, the Ausame one, which has, 60 rain and 60 lightning on it, and triple damage, or a damage modifier on it. You could put, I think a damage modifier Rain of Judgment would be really good because of how much it hits. If I were to build a Rainwater, it would literally just be all 3 skills. It would just be like Chase Blister, Rain of Judgment, and then Rolling Thunder. And I think you'd get a lot of damage potential off that. Especially just Chase Blister, because it hits so many times and you're constantly lowering their defense. It could be really good to go in for a Chase Blister, lower their defense, set up a Rain of Judgment, and then just like Rolling Thunder them. And then it's really up to you if you want Call of the Lightning or Rolling Thunder. It's all preference. I just think Rain of Judgment, like the water moves, are going to be more important than any thunder moves because rain is on the fused. But they're all really good to use in conjunction with each other. I think it's a really good weapon to have, especially for Oni modes and stuff. Then you have the Zenith, which is the wind and mountain one. The only real desire you should have for this weapon as a staff, I want to say, is just to have the wind and earth Ogi. Since once again, staff has no wind or mountain attack, the 3 skills you put on it don't really matter that much. Like this could be like a sanctuary weapon or something, and then you just have the 2 Ogis for coverage. And by 2, I mean like if you ever got a mega version of it, you could throw that on. But generally, Gakkaho isn't that desirable for staff. Heaven is great. Heaven is a holy triple damage weapon. It's probably the first one you'll find as you level through the game. This is one where you're going to want your Holy Pillar, your Holy Light, and your Holy Breath. The 3 holy moves that staff has. You can get the triple damage on that. Like I said, I still don't know how good Holy Breath is. Holy Light and Holy Pillar seem much better as options, so those I would recommend more in a Heaven. And then Ogi-wise, you can have your Tenryu Flame, you can have your Flame Lance, you can have a Mega Tenryu Flame, you can have like Visual Hall if you have it. You can put any real holy move on it. That's pretty much going to be better than Lancing, I guess. Because you already have the Nova for Lance, so you might not need it on the Heaven. It's really, really up to your interpretation, what you want to do. Then you have the Night Sky. So the Night Sky is the first dark weapon you really get. For staff, you're probably going to... If you're thinking long-term for staff, Datenru-wise, I would go triple Shadow Ball, and then Nether, and then like Datenru Force, or even Nether Illusion Trap Sublime. One of the 2. It really depends what you have, what you don't have. Like in terms of Oni Palace of Rain, it could do a lot of work, and when Knowledge Mags come out, your Darkness will be OP, and it might just become one of the best weapons for you. So Datenru, amazing for staff. Shadow Ball, Soul Strike. I prefer Shadow Ball on it. Leave Soul Strike to like another weapon, I'd say. Or even make one of each, because honestly, it's that good. once you get your hands on some Fresh Blood Black or Knowledge Mags in the future. Update New is going to be amazing. The 116 staff is a little holy staff, 15 holy on it. Some people build it up. I say you're better off with a heaven. Don't worry about it. The crystal staff profundum, which is the glaciers weapon. So once again, it is an ice wind weapon. Basically, this is where you can put your blistering ice wave or ice lance if you haven't done one or the other yet. You can feel free to put it on this weapon. It does come with rain moves, so you can't really do much for its normal skills, which kind of suck. But even though having 2 rank 7 rain moves is awesome, especially considering your mags give you rain, so you can really leave those untouched and just use it for its ice element. Really up to you. It's kind of an optional weapon at this point. The Gecko Oborodori. So Gecko Oborodori is the staff that a lot of players will end up using as their staff. And the reason for this is because it's a moon staff. It's identifiable. It does not necessarily take artisans to smelt up. And if you have 120 mind or 90 mind, it gives you extra attack, which makes your invig better, your meditation better. So many of your support skills and stuff just get better from it. So most people just end up using the Gecko Oborodori as a support staff, and you could use it too. But if you wanted to use it for offensive capabilities, it does have 25 fire, so you could flame lance it. You could go like double flame lance and then have all your other support moves on it, but I don't know how much I recommend it in horizon of other moves, on the horizon of other moves. So next on it is the Odin weapon, so the Helbaris Staff of Ruin, which is this one here. So this is sort of like Glacies. It's going to come with 2 moves on it. It usually comes with like 2 fire moves, but it doesn't. Because staff doesn't have fire, so it puts 2 holy moves on it. It puts Holy Pillar 6 and Holy Light 6 on the weapon, and then a 3rd random skill. Except the weapon itself does not have any holy on it, so it's kind of a conundrum. The weapon itself has 30 impact, 30 fire, negative 30 slice, negative pierce, and negative rain, so it's kind of really weird like that. Like, you'd have to use it for like impact and fire, and there's not much. Staff doesn't have impact moves or fire moves. Like, I guess it's probably your best weapon for flame lance. And we're just gonna skip to the earth version of it, and the earth is just the better version of the weapon. So we're just gonna scroll down to the earth real quick here. So the Earth is a 119 weapon. It's basically the same thing. It'll come with Holy Pillar 7 and Holy Light 7, so pretty cool skills. You could leave them on if you want, because your mags do give you Holy, and having 2 rank 7 Holy skills on a weapon would be really awesome, and you won't care about the 3rd skill on it. It does have the damage modifier on it, and since it gives you 50 impact and 50 fire, it would probably be the best weapon for your Flame Lance. It's your second time? Well, welcome back, AG Gaming. Welcome back. So the Earth is probably going to be a really good fire weapon. Like, obviously, Nova and Heaven are good, but I find that the Earth will replace the Heaven's fire capabilities, and Earth would just be a lot better for Flame Lance because it is impact and fire, just like it is for Wand, and I think Axe. I'm not sure. But that is an awesome thing because Flame Lance is an impact fire move. The Earth is awesome, awesome, awesome for that. So if it were me, I would just take the Earth, leave the holy skills that are on it, throw on double Flame Lance, and you're good to go. I wouldn't mess with it that much more. Next weapon on here is the L Maximilian. So we're going to talk about the L and the L Sin. So I've talked about these before. They have a damage modifier of 2. It's awesome. 15%. They have 30 lightning, 30 holy on the L, and then some negatives on it. Extra skill force on it. L Sin is about the same thing. The L Sin, we're just going to focus on the L Sin. L Sin, let me scroll down to this bad boy down here. So the L Maximilian Sin, which sounds like a really awesome name, will have 40 lightning, 60 holy, and the skill force stuff on it. Like, that's awesome. Okay, that's interesting. So since it has more holy than lightning, you're pretty much gonna want to have I just dropped my controller there. Sorry about that. Why do I call it Aurogiri? I call it Aurogiri because my character's name is Aurelia and the game's name is Onigiri. And by combining the two words together, you get Aurogiri. So that's the answer to that. Because that's my series. The game is called Onigiri, but my videos that are guides and stuff are just called Aurogiri. And a lot of people are just like, hey, are you Aurogiri? I'm like, yeah, I guess. So Elsin, it's basically you just want like holy light, holy pillar, holy breath. Basically holy moves like that. You can put your Call of the Lightning, you can put your Rolling Thunder on it. It's really up to you. Since it only has 40 lightning element to 60 holy, it might be better off as a holy weapon than a lightning weapon, because the Blitz Tiamat weapon is more lightning than this one. But it's really, really up to you and how far you want to go. But Elsin, like I said, you can go holy, lightning, mix it up if you want. You don't have to. And then for Ogies, you can leave the Ogi on it since it is 100% holy and it's a lot of skill force. And then you can put like Vizzle Hall on it and it would be amazing. Well, now that's a huge misconception. That is the hugest misconception ever. That people think that the bonus damage is only based off of lightning skills. Like, you can put any skill you want on a weapon with multiple damage or damage multiplier, and it affects every skill you use. That's why people put like Water Dragon on Elsin, because it hits so many times it can trigger that attack. And I'm talking like Spear, for example. That value is always 20%. It's constant, but its damage is amplified by your lightning element on your character. So as a Spear, the Elsin does way more damage because I have a higher lightning element because of Thunderquakes. But if you were like Twin Sword, the damage multiplier would be lessened because you have negative lightning. So it's not that the lightning gets doubled, it's just all attacks have a chance to do double damage, and that modifier is affected by the element on your person. It's not just the attacks you use. When do you believe we'll get the almighty EXP bag hunt? EXP dungeon will come probably January, something like that, I want to say. But to continue going on, so you have the 5-tailed dragon white flash is the Blitz Tiamat weapon. This weapon is a bonus of 1 damage dealt upon the value of lightning element, but it's a 25% trigger rate, so it's like the second highest trigger rating of the weapons, I want to say, with Fallen Star being the highest. This one is 40 pierce, negative impact, it's 40 impact, negative pierce, negative slice, 45 holy, 45 lightning, and then negative dark, negative mountain. Gives you 10 crit, and if your mind is 120, it gives you 10% attack, which is an awesome, awesome boon to have. And it gives you extra defenses as well. Moving on, this weapon, since it has more lightning, you can just go full Rolling Thunder, Call of the Lightning on it, and just leave the holy to the Elsin if you want to have different weapons, and just have this replace your Sin, or your Storm, or whatever. It's really, really up to you. Ogi-wise, you could have Thunder Lance, or, you know, even the Mega Satan Ogi if you really wanted it. You can put anything like that on it, Thunder or Holy. It'd be fine. The next weapon on here is the Mephi weapon. So Mephi weapons is, you know, Completion, Warped, Nadir, pretty much all the same. They have Darkness element on them, negative Holy, negative Wind, negative Mountain. They're Impact and Dark. So on these weapons, you can go your Nether Illusion Trap, Sublime, Dayton Roof Force, Abyssal Embrace, moves like that, and then you can go Shadow Ball and Soul Strike, and it will do pretty good damage. Basically the same thing as Datenru, but no damage multiplier, but since it's high attack, it should not be overlooked. Next on the list is the Abyss. The Abyss is an awesome weapon. It doesn't have Dark on it or Holy. It does have a Dark Ogi on it, but its elements are Impact, Fire, Ice, and Lightning, and it has Negative Slice, Negative Rain, Negative Mountain, and Negative Wind. So you can basically put Fire skills, Ice skills, and Thunder skills on it. And it comes with one Dark skill. You can leave it on if you want. If not, you can get rid of it. But generally speaking, Abyss is the strongest Ice weapon, because there are other Thunder weapons that are out, like El Sin and Blitz and other things. If you want to look at the Shadow Arm Figuera Abyss, as an Ice weapon, you can't really use the normal skills for Ice weapon. Like, you'd have to go like Blistering Ice Wave and Blistering Ice Wave Sublime or Glacial Lance. I think Ice Wave is probably better because it does have negative pierce, so it would lower... It does not have negative pierce, I'm sorry. So you can go Ice Lance on it. It's really up to preference for you. If you want Blistering Ice Wave or Ice Lance, really up to you which you want. I just think that's the preferred move to put on it, generally speaking. Normal move-wise, you're really only left with Thunder moves. Although you could generally put anything you want on it that's not negative. I think Thunder moves would be good. Like Call of the Lightning and Rolling Thunder would both be good on the weapon. Just because it has a high crit force, so more crits means more stuff. Even though it lowers your crit, having moves that hit a lot of times like Call of the Lightning would be good. So if I had one, it would probably be Rolling Thunder, Call of the Lightning, and any combination of that you want. And then Ogies, I'd say Blistering Ice Wave or Ice Lance, whatever you want. You can put any of the lances you want on it, but with the other elements already being covered, I think Glacial Lance or Blistering Ice Wave or Blistering Ice Wave Sublime is just the preferred option for Abyss. Scrolling down some more, we have the Falling Star. So the Falling Star is the big fire weapon. It has a huge number attack on the weapon because it does give you extra 50% affinity, and it has a 30% chance of doing a damage bonus. But this weapon is 45 fire, or no, 45 impact and 60 fire, negative rain, and negative crit. On the Fallen Star, I would say this would probably replace your Earth, or you could wear them both at the same time. And this is mostly going to be a double Flame Lance weapon. The skills you put on it don't matter that much. You can put anything that's not negative on it, because, once again, Staff does not have fire moves. You could probably, since it is a really strong weapon, you could probably get away with, like, putting support moves on it and then just having it, like, you could have like Soul Strike on it just to lower your enemy's defense, and then just go in with some Flame Lances and just have, like, you could probably have like an Invig or a Cure on it because it has so much attack. Are Knowledge Mags hard? I don't think they're that hard, because a lot of people have them on PC and stuff, so when they come, we'll be the true judge of that. But it's really just material collecting and trading them in. The dungeon will probably be somewhat hard. It has to be hard. Triple first aid on other side? I mean, you could do that too if you want. But other side's a long ways away for us. That is like the 127 staff with darkness on it. It would probably heal you a lot. It'd probably be good. You can get 1 knowledge mag a day. That's pretty good. Yeah, so based on that testament, knowledge mags aren't going to be that hard to get. But Falling Star, yeah, like definitely a Flame Lance weapon. Do whatever you want with the 3 skills. Your attack's high enough, you can do anything you want. It's just a shame that Staff does not have fire moves. But Staff should get like a fire... Staff should get a fire version of like Sanctuary, and you just like put the puddle down and it just burns everything. That'd be so cool. You could go in, yeah. So that was Fallen Star. So next weapon is going to be the Lancelot weapons. So these are called the Merveille, Reverence, and Supreme. So these weapons are going to be my next staff for support, by the way. But these weapons have Pierce on them for some random reason. Staff just likes to change what it's giving. It never gives Slice. It either gives Pierce or Impact. And the Lancelot staff is going to give you extra attack, huge attack bonus. If you're 128, you get 10% attack. I don't plan... This is the Lancelot one, yes. But I'm not planning on getting the Yogg staff, but if it happens, it happens. You need my Fallen Star, come on. Then you could flex on anyone. I mean, like, my Fallen Star waits for Lancelot. Or not Lancelot, sorry. Waits for me to get my second Tempest. After I get the second Tempest, then I'll start thinking about getting some drops for it. But I do have my recipe for the Fallen Star, actually. But until I make the Tempest, all the drops I get from it don't really matter to me. Fallen Star is not on the menu until Tempests are complete. But, yeah, staff. This is a Rain and Holy staff. It is what staff has wanted. Oh my god. So this thing, you can put on it like Holy Pillar, Chase Blister, Rain of Judgment, or you can leave the original skill on it if you want, because it's going to come with a Holy Water attack, which is going to be amazing with Crucifix Fuse mags. And if you really wanted to, you could throw on a really desirable you know, Rain of Judgment or Chase Blister or Holy Pillar. Whatever you really, really come to like as a staff main, I say put it on your weapon. It's really awesome. Ogi-wise, on a Holy and Rain thing, you're probably going to want like to move your Visual Hall up from other weapons if you have one. Put on that Visual Hall. You could probably have double Visual Hall, or you can put the Satan Ogi. You could do a lot of things like that. Do I think Axe has a future? Yeah, Axe has a huge future. Axe has the biggest attack pool in the game, but its lack of multi-hit will come to bite it in the butt later when everyone just starts hitting damage cap with a lot of moves, and the multi-hit people start out DPSing Axe. Like, Axe will be OP for Wind eventually. Like, basically how I see it, as players' attacks continue to rise and rise and rise, and everyone just starts hitting damage cap with a lot of moves, unless you're just consistently hitting damage cap, then God bless. But at the point where you're fighting an enemy and Water Dragon does over 1,000,000 damage per tick, Water Dragon is now out DPSing like a Lance or something, because it's doing over 10 million damage. So it's gonna happen. That's why you prefer Twins and Spear. But yeah, like, it's really up there. But Lancelot, Holy Rain, do whatever you want. Put the Holy Rain skills on it. Ogis, you can put Mega Embers. I do agree. It is a good Rain Ogi to put. And Holy, you can put Visual Hall. Visual Hall is probably going to be a better option. But you can say late game as much as you want. It don't matter. Then you have the Supreme. So the Supreme is the, you know, the opposite. It's one of the bonus damage multiplier. Supreme is Dark and Fire. So this weapon is probably going to replace your Dayton Rue eventually. And this is what you're going to want your, you know, Soul Strike, Double Shadow Ball, or even Triple Soul Strike. If you want to do that, I think it's perfectly fine. Or even 2 Soul Strikes, Shadow Ball. Whatever combination you are comfortable with. Because eventually cooldown just makes it so every skill could just be used. I think it's fantastic for that. Since there's no fire skills, just triple up on the darkness. And Ogi wise, Nether Illusion Trap, Dayton Reforce, things like that. You know. And it does come with the Scarlet Resplendent Orb, so it's the Dark Fire version of the move that will come on it. So you can just throw on like a Soul Strike 7 or a Shadow Ball or whatever you really want, and you know, your Supreme will be awesome. How far does this go? Oh wow. Other Side Staff. Oh, that's what it's called, Other Side Staff. It's on here. Oh wow. So the Other Side Staff is on the wiki. I didn't know that. Rear attack. Holy shit. Gives you 100 skill force? Fuck, this thing is great. 15% attack at 130? Wow. 20% attack at max health? Wow. Wow, this thing's fucking cool, man. Whoa. Whoa, this thing does so much stuff. Minus 40 crit. No. Yeah, that's awesome. Holy shit. What's that? That's the Yogg Sarath staff. Like the other side weapons? Triple Poison Fang Rev 3? Oh my god. But it's basically the 127 weapons. Oh my god, it's like a lot of darkness. No damage modifier, but still really awesome. Especially if you're 130. Yeah, it is a weird name, yeah. But yeah, that's another dark weapon. Shadow Ball, Darkness Pillar. Not dark, I fucking wish. Shadow Ball or Soul Strike. It's a dark staff. There's going to be so many dark weapons. You'll know what to do with them. So that's generally every weapon for staff. Offensively, what you can do. Even with this limited move pool, it can still come out on top. It can do a lot of damage. Especially when you consider that all of its moves are 100% element unless they're a borrowed move. You think Other Side makes it sound cool? I guess so. Yeah. I think it's really cool. Yeah. It could do a lot of work. So, like, Staff's strongest points are going to be on Holy, Rain, and Darkness, and Lightning. Those 4 elements are going to be probably the most key moves, I want to say, the element-wise. Like, yes, your Blistering Ice Wave and Blistering Ice Wave Sublime are fantastic, so an Abyss with those would be awesome. End game-wise, I could probably see Staff having Ice Abyss, you know, Reverence and Supreme. You could even make a Supreme and like Fallen Star. Like, every weapon's going to be good. You just got to build it with Ogis and skills. It's not so uncommon from the other classes. But mags are going to make a huge difference. So like I said, Knowledge mags are going to be amazing for Darkness. Fresh Blood Black in the meantime from Ivis Dungeon. What's the other one called? Next update, when the Fujin and Raijin mags come, you can get a mag for Lightning, so it's going to make your Rolling Thunder and your Thunderlance a lot better. It also gives you Ice too, so it's going to be awesome for Abyss and Ice moves and all that good stuff. Like for Staff, it's really, really important to get a lot of other mags and to Heavenly Shield on a lot of, you know, 4th mags, things with Element, because the Element's going to go a long, long way, just like with Wand, where all the moves are 100% element. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that an hour-long guide, very similar to the other support staff guide. But I went into such detail because I wanted to treat attack staff different than other classes. Like, it has potential. It's out there. Like, if you're lost and you don't know what to do, like, this guide isn't perfect, but it does show a lot of insight in how to play the weapons according to staff strengths and make good use of them. But you will find a lot of overlap in your play. You're going to find a lot of Holy and Lightning and Dark weapons will mostly be the bulk of the attacks you use. Rain as well. Like, once you get, you know, your Lancelot, like, it'll open up a lot more possibilities. But Staff's cons is that it does not have reliable sources of wind or mountain. It does not have reliable sources of wind or mountain. So you're going to have to play around that. And there's no poison on the weapon either, so that's a crime against humanity. No flight element. But generally the fire is lacking unless it's Ogies. Ice is lacking unless it's Ogies. But lightning, holy, dark, and rain are going to be your main skills that you're going to use. So, and you know, any element you're lacking, you can make up for it with a good Vanguard. So, like, you could be a staff main and use Miyamoto and do fine. Because, honest to God, who plays the game without Vanguards nowadays? It's, you know, it's the reality we've come to see over the past 2 years. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that guide. You know, leave comments. If you guys have build suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comments after the video is published. And by published, I mean once I'm done streaming it. That'd be awesome. But yeah, hopefully I might have inspired a couple people to play some staff. If not, you know, it'd be fun. I'm acting as if you're not here? What do you mean? People are here. You're very welcome for the guide. You're very welcome. And that's what it is. It's a guide. It's not a foolproof master plan. It's a guide. It's to, you know, help people, you know, find their way. I mean, I said most people. If you don't play with Vanguards, you don't play with Vanguards. I mean, everyone can get a Genine and Izuna. It would take you 1 month of just logging in every day and you'll get one. No reason not to. But, you know, I don't want to get into that stuff now. I've actually got to go do some chores. Got to go get supper ready for tonight. But, yeah, you guys can squabble on your own time. I'm going to get on out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And hopefully we'll see a couple more attack staff players. And people will come spam me some holy pillar on my asshole and be like, look at all I can do, world. I got skills now. Attack staff. Yay.